Good morning, students. Welcome again. We will be starting with NCERT Class 9 History, Chapter 2, Socialism in Europe and Russian Revolution. Today we will learn the first subtopic, the age of social change. Under this topic, we will be discussing about liberals, radicals and conservatives and the industrial society and social change. The Russian Revolution is the collective term for the series of revolutions in Russia from 1905 to 1917, which destroyed the Tsarist autocracy and led to the creation of the Soviet Union. In this chapter, we will discuss how did socialism sow its seeds in Europe and later how it reached its extreme phase in Russia. Now let's move on to the introduction. The age of social change. Why is it called as the age of social change? We discussed in the previous chapter about the French Revolution. Sudden change occurred in the society after the French Revolution, which was dominated by the church and the aristocracy and divided into estates and orders. Taking inspiration from the French Revolution, many European and Asian countries started to think for a change that is known as the age of social change. In India, Rajaram Mohan Roy talked about the significance and many others debated the ideas of post-revolutionary Europe. Through the revolution in Russia, socialism became one of the most significant and powerful ideas to shape society in the 20th century. Liberals, radicals, and conservatives. Every individual needs some change in the society. That is the reason why it is rightly known as the age of social change. So now we will be learning about the different groups in Europe at that time, the liberals, the radicals, and the conservatives. Let's learn each one of them in detail, starting with liberals. Who are liberals? The liberals want religious tolerance. All religions should give equal respect. The state should not favor any religion. Why did the liberals express this view? Why did the liberals express the view of religious tolerance? Because in Britain, the government supported the Church of England and Austria and Spain favored the Catholic Church. So these are the official religions of the state at that time. So they want to have tolerance towards all the other religions also. They want the government should be liberal when it comes to religion. The liberals opposed the uncontrolled power of dynastic rulers. They want the individual rights of the people to be protected against the authority of the government. The government always pressurized the people to do certain things. So the liberals do not want any pressure that curbs the right of the individual. The liberals also wanted the representatives who are elected by the people and represent the people in the parliament. They would bring in needs of the people in the parliament. It means they approached for the elected parliamentary government subjected to laws and not rulers. They want the issues to be debated in the parliament which are concerned with the people. They want the laws to be interpreted by a well-trained judiciary. They don't want anyone who is very close to the king or very close to the ruling person or the family who may not have any knowledge about law. However, they were not Democrats. They were completely against the universal adult franchise, that is the right of every citizen to vote. So the liberals, they were completely against the concept of universal adult franchise. Universal adult franchise means the right of every citizen to vote. According to the liberals, they don't want the voting rights for women. They don't want the voting rights. They do not want the rights to the people. According to them, only the men of the property should have the right to vote. So according to the liberals, the voting right should be enjoyed by only the people who have property or property. According to them, only the men of the property should have the right to vote. Now let's learn about the views of the radicals. Who are radicals? Radicals have a totally different view comparing to the liberals. According to the radicals, the majority of the people's opinion has to be counted. They want the people to be the major source of voting in the government. They wanted a nation in which government was based on the majority of country's population. They supported the women's suffrage movement. So it means liberals, the liberals were against the women's right to vote, but the radicals supported the women's right to vote. They supported the women's suffragette movements. They opposed the privileges enjoyed by the great landowners and the wealthy factory owners. They were completely against the ideas of liberals. They were not against the existence of private property, but they disliked the concentration of wealth in few hands. According to the concentration of wealth in the few hands, it will destroy the harmony of the society. It means, according to the radicals, accumulation of wealth in few hands will destroy the harmony of the society. The next slide is explaining about conservatives. Who are conservatives, or else what are the ideologies of conservatives? Conservatives were the group of people who opposed the radicals as well as the liberals. They were against the concept of change. But later, after the French Revolution, they realized that the situation has come up that we need to change, and the change is inevitable. So it is explaining that initially the conservatives were against the concept of change, but later they accepted, they understand that what is the importance of the change, and they realized that the change is inevitable. But the conservatives stick to the old regime. They want the past had to be respected, and they want the old pattern to be continued in the modern day. They want the past glory to be continued, and the change should happen in a slow process. So initially the conservatives did not accept the change, but slowly after the French Revolution, they understood the prominence of change in the society, and they realized the fact that change is required to the society, but they don't want a sudden change. They are not ready for a sudden change, but they accepted that the change should happen in a slow process, but at the same time, their traditions or the past glory, that to be continued, or else that to be maintained even in the modern day. So such kind of change is accepted by the conservatives. The next heading is explaining about the industrial society and social change. What changes? The changes which was brought by the industrial revolution. So now let's find out how did the society change after the establishment of the industries. Why the society is changing. The developments which are happening in the society, bringing changes in the society. The coming up of large number of industries had brought men, women, and children to work in the factories. Here you can see the image that the men, women, and even the children are working in the factories. So this is one of the major change that happened in Europe after the industrial revolution. It means a large number of people, it means irrespective of men, women, or children, everyone started working in the factories. So the industries brought the people to work. Railway network, as part of the industrial revolution, railway network expanded, transportation facilities developed. So what happened is people from the villages, they started to migrate to the place where these industries are located, so that they can find some work and earn some livelihood. So the industrial revolution resulted in the expansion of the railway, and not only railway, a good transportation facility developed. So as a result of the industrial revolution, the people who are living in the villages or else in the rural areas, they started migrating to the urban areas. So in the why they migrated means they were in the hope that they will get some job in the factories and they can earn a decent standard of living. So this industrial revolution resulted in the change of man-made goods to machine-made goods. Till the industrial revolution, people mainly used the handmade goods, the man-made goods. Now, after the industrial revolution, a change happened from the man-made goods to the machine-made goods. So what are the other conditions in the society? Now let's analyze what are the other conditions in the society due to the industrial revolution. So people were forced to work more hours. It means prolonged working hours, like 12 to 14 hours per day they need to work, but they got only very less wages. Then unemployment was very common in the society during the time of low demand for industrial goods. So at that time, though they started manufacturing goods in the industries, the demand for industrial goods was very less. Now let's analyze what is the reason why the demand for the industrial goods was very less. So comparing to the man-made goods, the price of the industrial goods is very high. Because it is industrial goods are making with the help of machinery for the electricity purpose to purchase the machineries. For all that, they invested a lot of money. So the products which we get from the machine made from the factories, price is high. But when they updated from man-made goods to machine-made goods, what happened is, to a certain extent, even employment also reduced, unemployment increased. See, when for example, one particular work, for example, in the textile industry, so if you want to in the weaving sector, if you want to stitch something, or else, for example, a sari, if you want to stitch, mean if it is machine made, means the machine can make more number of saris within a short span of time and with less laborers. For the factories, for the in the industries, workers which we required is comparatively less, when we in the comparatively less than that of the man-made goods. When they are manufacturing man-made goods, they need more laborers or more workers. When they upgrade that to machine-made goods, they need only less laborers, because the work was done by the machines. So to run a machine, less laborers are required. So that resulted in unemployment. So when there is unemployment means people don't have wages. Though they have wages, their wages were very less. So because of the unemployment, people are not in a situation to buy the industrial goods. So that is why there was a low demand for industrial goods. As many people are moving from the nearby villages to the towns, house has become a serious problem. It means accommodation of the people, those who are migrated from from the villages to the urban areas, or else to the place where the industries are located. In the places where the industries are located or in the urban areas, they don't have sufficient housing facilities to accommodate the people who are migrated from the villages. So the housing was a big problem that people faced at that time. So people used to adjust in small houses and small rooms. So that resulted in sanitation problem. So housing and sanitation problem also another major problem which was faced by the people. And this is a brief view of the industrial society at that time. The liberals and the radicals searched solutions for these issues. So these were the problems which was faced by the Europeans at that time. But the liberals and the radicals, they tried to find solutions for these issues. So almost all the factories are individual properties. The liberals and radicals were the property owners and employers at that time. Though they always want their efforts to be appreciated, as they have traded overseas, acquired success, and achieved lot of wealth. Liberals and radicals who were factory owners felt that their effort must be encouraged so that benefits of industrialization should be passed on to workers and the entire society can progress. They opposed the privileges the old aristocracy had by birth. They believe in the value of individual efforts. It means if a person is poor, allow him to do labor, allow him to do get some work. If the person is able to maintain the capital, or if he is rich, allow him to establish factories and rotate that capital in establishing factories. So the liberals and radicals, they believed in the value of individual efforts, and they opposed the privileges of the old aristocracy which enjoyed by birth. They believed that societies would develop if freedom of individuals was ensured. They want more number of educated people in the society. Many of the men and the women in the early 19th century rallied towards the liberals and the radicals. Some nationalists, liberals, and the radicals want to put an end to the monarchy form of governments, either through revolution or through force. That was the aim of liberals and radicals at that point of time. In France, Italy, and Germany, and Russia, the radicals and liberals worked very hard, and finally they succeed in overthrowing the existing monarchies at that time in 1815. So the views of the radicals and the liberals were acknowledged by the people at that time, which resulted in overthrowing the existing monarchies in many countries in Europe and also in Far East Asia. Nationalists always talked about nations. Here, nations means not the political or land boundaries. Here, nation means a group of people associated with some common binding where all citizens have equal rights. Moving on to Italy, Giuseppe Mazzini always talked about nationalism, and he conspired with the other nations to achieve this in Italy, and books which were written by him were read all across the world, including India. By this, we completed the first part of history, chapter 2, socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. Now let's have a quick recap of today's class. In the beginning of the chapter, the age of the social change, we discussed that French Revolution has created possibilities to bring dramatical change, including equality, fraternity, and liberty in Europe. However, not everyone was in favor of this change of society. Responses varied from those who want complete change or wishes for gradual shift or wanted to restructure society. These variations give rise to liberals, radicals, and conservatives. First, we discussed about liberals. Liberals wanted a nation which can respect and tolerate all religions. They opposed uncontrolled power of dynastic rulers. They wanted an elected parliamentary government and safeguard the rights of individuals against government. They were not Democrats. They were not in favor of universal adult franchise and felt men of property should have the right to vote, but not for women. Then we discussed about the radicals. The radicals wanted a nation in which government is based on majority of country's population. They were in favor of existence of private property, but don't want concentration of people in few hands. Then we discussed about conservatives. The conservatives wanted a nation which resist change, but later by 19th century, they opened their mind to need for change. They also wanted to respect past and brought change through slow process. Then finally, we discussed about industrialization and social change. New cities of industrialized regions developed and railways expanded. Men, women, and children brought to factories. Liberals and radicals searched solution for housing, sanitation, and unemployment issues. So by this, we concluded the first part of history, chapter 2. Thank you, students. Have a good day ahead.